This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in association with Beterbiev. I'm here in Moston. I'm joined by the one and only Lyndon Arthur. First of all, big United fan. Great result for you last night.
No, the mighty Reds. You know what? Yeah, you can't even say too much, but it's a positive. It's a positive, and if we can continue to, I actually messaged HAG myself on Instagram. Yeah, told him this is how the boys need to play on every game. And that's if we can continue playing like that and keep up the intensity and close man down quick as we was doing, get all the players playing like that, then it's a good start, innit?
Did he reply? That's the main question.
Don't know, I'll check in a minute when I go back to my phone.
A busy gym today, like always. Some good sparring with you a moment ago. You said you wanted to be out in the next few months. Again, is there any update on that one?
No, not yet. But it should be released in the next week or two.
First of all, you spoke to Ali Drew a few months ago regarding the Wasserman signing. Just talk to me about how much that excites you, that move from Frank Warren to Wasserman.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a kickstart again, isn't it? Like it gives you a bit of something to look forward to, especially after a loss. Yeah, man, that's about it. I'm just excited to get going. I'm excited to get my first fight under that banner and push it and push myself a little bit more than I have been doing. So,
is it hard to? Well, maybe a silly question, but is it hard to motivate yourself without a date, or are you just constantly in the gym? I mean, Pat seems to have everyone in the gym all the time and just fight. If there's a fight announced, then you're ready to go. But is it hard to motivate yourself?
Sorry.
Don't worry, I'll cut this bit out. Go on.
I would say but it's like to constantly keep training. I train every day anyway, but to constantly keep training day in, day out without an end goal is a bit, because as boxers we build up. We start not so much camp, but we start training and then it gets, the intensity goes in, and then you peak and then you cool down for your fight. Obviously without a fight, it's just on the same path the whole time. It can get a bit repetitive without actually an end goal to the training you're doing. But that's in the past now. I'll have a fight date soon and we'll get back to knocking people out.
Can you give us any indication on what type of fight that will be for you? Is it just one to sort of get the ring rust out, or is it going?
I suppose it'd just be 8-10 round though. And we'll just get in there and then the fight after that, we're ready to go.
I've just been speaking to Pat. He mentioned about you out with Beterbiev sparring. You told him he hits hard. He told me to ask you basically. What was it like really?
It's just a great experience and he's a nice person.
Is he number one in your eyes? Best, or who is?
It's hard him and Bivol in it. Obviously they have to fight. I can't say that Bivol's better than him, and I can't say that he's better than Bivol. Both monsters at the weight. Both do different things. One's a come forward box fighter and one's a complete boxer. Great fight, and if and when he gets made, I'll be excited to watch it. But as for Beterbiev, he's an animal. Is what you see him fight like. Is what you get. He hits hard. He don't get tired. He trains hard. He's a world champion, so he's what you get with a world champion.
If he does fight Bivol, how do you think that one goes between them two?
I couldn't tell you. That's a great fight of two great elite world champions. Bivol's just beat Canelo. We know his level. Regardless of whether Canelo was too small for the weight or to fight like a natural light heavyweight. It don't matter, he beat Canelo. Beterbiev, he's beating everyone else he put in front of him. He beat Joe Smith Jr., he beat the Ukraine boy. He's beat Marcus Brown, he's beating good people, so again, that's a great fight and I'll be excited to watch that when it happens.
It is now obviously 1-1 between you and Yarde. Does moving to Wasserman make that fight harder to make, or would the fight make itself?
I don't know if it makes it harder to make about what happens between promoters when two people on a different side. It sounds like it's hard, but if two fighters want to fight and two promoters want the fighters to fight, then it really will happen.
Must chat to you, obviously, about the weekend's action. Usyk-AJ, not the result British fight fans wanted, but just to get your reaction first of all.
Good fight. I enjoy watching it. Usyk's he's just an elite world champion. He's just like in boxing, you have world champions and you have elite world champions, and I just think he's in that elite category. Joshua, he changed a little bit. He started coming forward. He threw more punches. He looked well. He looked good. He just come up against Usyk. I see a lot of comments, a lot of dickheads saying that he's washed out or he's been found out. Like, how do you get found out against Usyk? You don't get found out. You just been beat off Usyk. It's like if you get beat off Tyson Fury. What is Wilder shit? I mean, like Wilder will come out and not punch no more because he got beat off Tyson Fury. Do you know what I mean? It's daft. It's like you get beat off Mayweather. Like, what, you shit because you got beat off Mayweather? No, you're not. You just got beat off Mayweather. Joshua just got beat off Usyk. There's still many huge fights out there. I was having a bit of a back and forth with someone on Twitter today and last night, saying that the Fury and Joshua fight is still not huge. Of course it is. These guys are the two biggest British heavyweight boxers known globally that's probably ever been. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you can ask someone, I know who Andy Joshua is, and probably Tyson Fury as well now, because he's made himself
ITV and
so known. Do you know what I mean? So, like, to say that fight's not still huge, it's crazy to me, and I'd love to see that fight. Everyone would love to see that fight. That fight will sell out big arenas everywhere, especially in England, and it will do mad numbers on pay-per-view, and they'll still make big money from it. AJ's brought boxing back, heavyweight boxing. He's brought boxing back. Like, he's obviously we have Froch Grove, but then who's constantly sold out stadiums and had 90,000, 70,000, 80,000 people at football stadiums, no matter who he fights. He brought that back. He's got people that are just casual fans, or just like people like my mum and stuff like that. Even though my mum watches me, but people like my mum and other people, just like when Aunt Joshua fighting, it's like an event, and people watch it, and he's got people's eyes on boxing again. So to say he's washed and to say he's done all, like, it's just stupid, isn't it?
How did you have it scored? I mean, arguably the one scorecard which everyone's talking about is the 115, 113 AJ. Many people didn't have it as a split, but going through the rounds, where did you have it? Because some people are arguing, that it's the championship rounds where Usyk won it. But did you have Usyk or where did you have it?
I think I think when I was watching it, I think I had it 2-2 going into round 4, maybe 3-2 round 5. I think he kind of from round 4, 5, 6. I think he kind of took off a little bit, and then AJ had a couple of good rounds in between there. And then Usyk, like you just said, then championship rounds took off. He got to the point where AJ was throwing one shot and he was just getting cowed with 4 or 5 punches. It was amazing to watch from Usyk. But that's just an elite world champion. That's just someone that. But again, that's not taking nothing away from Joshua. Joshua's still a fantastic world champion. Look at his resume. Look who he's beat. You know what I mean? He's beat everyone put in front of him, from your likes of Parker to flipping White to Brazil, Povetkin, Klitschko. These are all, you know what I mean? You can keep going. Ruiz, it's back-to-back world title fights. Fury's just knocked out Dillian White, and that was a great fight. Joshua did that a few years ago. Do you know what I mean? So, like, it's just mad. But boxing fans are crazy. Boxing fans are mad, like, especially the ones that are on Twitter and all that, because the 1 minute you're the best thing and the next minute you're the worst thing. Like, I have these guys that are saying Joshua's washed now, probably fucking on the train, front carriage, running with it, pushing it at the back as well, when Joshua was winning. So, you know, it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, because arguably, like you said there, I mean, heavyweight boxing anyway gets casual market. Joshua's got the casual market into boxing, you just mentioned there. So that's probably where you get a lot of the Twitter criticism from, people that don't watch boxing but watch. A lot of
people would have got into boxing because of Joshua, into watching it, and then got on the hype train of Joshua. Not a hype train, but got on the hype of Joshua, and And then because he's now losing and they've been backing him ever since, he's now might have lost 1 or 2 fights. It's like, oh no, Joshua's shit. Let's have it right. He's lost 1 fight to Usyk, what he won back, so it's cancelled out. And he's lost to Usyk twice. He's lost 3 fights. Has he really? No, he's lost to a fighter twice in Usyk. Like, Deontay Wilder's lost once to Tyson Fury 3 times or twice. Sorry, you know what I mean. So it's like it's a boxing fans for you, isn't it?
Lastly, then, what did you make of the aftermath, the after speech? Again, a lot of emotions in there, and perhaps concussed. We don't know, but just a lot of emotions.
I remember in one of my fights. One of my early fights, I threw a right hand, another threw a right hand. I slipped in and I banged my head against a guy, African kid. I don't remember the fight. Don't remember. So I can imagine, and that was only a 4-round, 6-round fight or something. That was just a little bump on the head. I remember asking, well, are we in Manchester Arena? I literally remember. I was like, I think it was it Scott Quiggin and Frampton? I think it was. Must have boxed on one of them bills. Anyway, whatever bill it was. So to get punched in your face for 12 rounds, it might have been a little bit concussed, but at the same time, then I seen Eddie Earn say like for years he's just had pure weight on his shoulders and pure stress, and I'm not making excuses for him, but with all that combined, and then you've trained your absolute heart out, and you feel like no matter what you've just done, you've been beat. Like he's better than you. After trade, like you're in tip-top condition, tip-top shape. If you're gonna win, you're gonna win that night. And he's tried his absolute 100%. He give it all. He tried to the end bell. He tried, and you get beat. You're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna be angry. You're gonna be emotional. You're gonna be. So I get it. I kind of don't get the rant, but if that's his way of like really like that's what he felt at the time. Obviously, to do, he felt that was right at the time through emotion and through going through all that. I can imagine, but people can judge him on that. Just people are gonna judge him on that anyway. People are gonna say, oh, he shouldn't have done that. Oh, someone should have took the mic off him. You go and try and take the mic off Anthony Joshua. Angry Anthony Joshua. Go and try and take the mic off him when he's probably a little bit concussed. Can lashed out a bit in the walking back to the thing. I know a guy like no matter what, he's a respectful person, and he's obviously out of character there. Obviously, regardless of whether people are saying, oh, the actual Joshua's here now. No, he's just lost his world titles and probably won't get the shot at that again for another few fights now. It's hard. Imagine being a world champion, being the fucking man for ages, and then someone just come and just took it off you twice. No matter what you did in that ring, you wasn't able. It's hard. I can imagine it's stressful and will be emotional. So I don't judge him for what happened.
Lastly, then, there's been reports, not official reports, but the Usyk Fury fight will be on December 17th, a day before the World Cup final, I believe, in Saudi. First of all, just to get your thoughts on how big will that be if that comes off?
It's a big fight. Obviously, it's for the undisputed. I think Fury, as good as I believe Usyk is, and the ring IQ he's got, and I just don't think he'll be able to do it against Fury. But I believe Fury is the best heavyweight we've seen in years, and Fury's a bit more. Fury will be able to do what Joshua tried to do, but with a bit more elusiveness and a bit more. He'll rough him up properly. He'll get him. He'll hold it when he gets close to him. He'll put his weight on him. He'll do what Joshua probably was trying to do a little bit more. And Fury can throw punches and punches a little bit more, and his ring IQ is probably a little bit better, and his ring knowledge is probably a little bit. He's probably more aware and more knows what he'll need to do. Fury's just and Fury's got that raw. You ain't gonna beat me. Inside him, he's got the heart. Fury's going to be hard to beat, especially someone like Usyk who's smaller than him and stuff like that. And whether he's southpaw or not, Fury can switch southpaw. How do you train for a Fury? You get southpaws in, you get fucking movers in, you get guys that can punch in, you get guys that can go orthodox in, you can get, like, it's hard to train for, hard. So I think Fiora, I don't think it'll be an easy fight, but I think Fiora will win easily.
Thanks for being to Boxing Social, Lyndon. We'll catch up soon, mate.
Thank you.